Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today in front of you is the all-new Spinnaker Dumas. This is the one with the new bracelet, which is actually pretty nice. And like I've stated in my earlier videos, the quality on these Spinnaker watches is getting much better with each new batch. And I assume they're, making some changes maybe. The case finishing and cut is much better. The bracelets are much better quality. Their new clasp is pretty cool as well. We'll get more into it. But this is the new Spinnaker Dumas. I shouldn't say new, but the upgraded version has a new custom rotor, a new nice solid bracelet, which is actually really nice. This is model SP5081/DD. It's a nice light blue color, as you can see there, to match those orange accents. Anyway, getting into some basic specifications here, let's jump right into it. This watch is $400 new from Spinnaker, but there's always a discount code. I do have a discount code of my own. It is WA20. That will save you 20% and give you free international shipping. I highly suggest using that code as you'll save a lot of money. But I will drop all that in the description below. You can check that out after the video. Now the watch does come with a 2-year warranty. It comes in the standard Spinnaker box, which you can see on my previous videos. The box has not changed. And yeah, pretty simple, decent packaging as well. So yeah, this is the new colorways for the Dumas. There's a few other colorways as well you can check out on their website. It's housed in a solid 316L stainless steel brushed case. As you can see here, there is chamfering, highly polished chamfering on the sides of the case. As you can see here, there's a hidden bracelet, or lugless design I should say. But yeah, these sides of the top of the case are highly polished. Which looks actually pretty nice in contrast with the nice brushing of the 316L solid stainless steel. It is a 44mm case diameter, but it really doesn't wear that big considering there's no lugs coming out here. Wears more like a 41.5 or 42 in my opinion. Case thickness, we're looking at 15mm top to bottom. In terms of lug to lug, it's actually pretty short at 48mm, so it definitely wears a bit smaller than that 44, of course. We do get a nice sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, which seems to be doing its job in the light right now. We get a 120 click loomed bezel with glass over here, so it's not sapphire, it's actually glass. There might be a downside, might be an upside, I don't know. But yeah, the unidirectional rotating bezel is actually pretty nice. It lines up perfectly to the 12 o'clock position. This watch is water resistant to 300 meters. So it's definitely a true diving watch. These are pressure tested in Spinnaker's factories, and it's definitely a pretty heavy duty watch. It has some nice weight to it as well, especially on this nice new hexagon style bracelet, which you can see has little polished sides over here underneath, which gives it some pop there. And like I stated, it does come on their new clasp with diver extension. Let's take a look at the dial, get a little closer in here. As you can see, the dial remains the same, but this is a new colorway. So you haven't seen this one before. We get that nice paddle large hand. If I get you in a little closer, there's really no errors over here. It's a layered dial. This part with the markers comes over the actual dial. You get 24 hours and you get your nice markers filled with lume. Paddle style yellow hand, orange accents on the outer portion. Automatic 300-meter Spinnaker applied and polished. But yeah, and the crown is signed as well, as you can see there very neatly. But yeah, pretty simple dial, very legible. Date cutouts at 3, kind of keeps out of the way. It's not extremely, doesn't really pop at your eyes like crazy, but it's definitely legible inside of that window. Now the movement itself inside of this watch, before we get to this bezel, it's the NH35 produced by Seiko. It has 24 jewels. You get hand winding, you get hacking. I'm going to give it some juice here. Very smooth winding, very easy to operate this crown. There's some good grip on it, nice little crown guards here as well. And then you get one position, quick set date. Final position is hacking, the seconds hand will halt. And we can set the time here. So I'm going to set it to 10:10. Push that back in, it'll start running again. Go ahead and screw this back in. Very easy, no issues there. And yeah, that's pretty much how you function this watch. Very simple, nice lollipop tipped sweeping seconds hand. The lume is very good on this watch, glows green, it's super luminova. We get lume on the bezel as well, so I will get you a lume shot definitely. Let's take a look at this bracelet though. This is the new addition to the watch. So obviously you have this lugless design, so the bracelet comes underneath as you can see here. So when you put it on your wrist, it's going to conform perfectly to your wrist, which is very nice. It also is very flexible as well, doesn't pull hair or anything like that. It also is brushed, but there is little polished sections inside, as you can see, which is nice. This is the new clasp if you haven't seen it yet. Signed Spinnaker here. Go ahead and pop this open. We get 1, 2, 3 micro adjustments, a milled clasp here, and we also do get a diver's extension if you're ever actually going to go diving, which not many people really go diving with diving watches nowadays. But yeah, the back side, as you can see, the sticker on the rotor of the NH35 is definitely different, as you can see there. Yeah, screw down case back, brushed, very nice quality, very nice brushing. I did notice that. Solid end links on the bracelet, of course. The bracelet itself is held in by, as you can see here, it's held in by pins. That might be a downside, upside, depending on how you like your bracelets. I really don't have a problem with the pins. I find them very easy to adjust. You have the hammer, and then you knock it out with the little pin. For me, it's easy. Screws are easy as well. They both work. They both keep the bracelet on your wrist, although screws are probably a bit more secure. But I do like their new clasp. It's very thin. It has the diver's extension, and it doesn't look like any other clasp out there on the market with their own custom shape here. But anyway, the bezel action actually on this watch, as you can see here, we have some nice grip over here. It's highly polished on the sides of the coin-edged bezel. Nice shape of this case, really cool. But it does rotate 120 clicks. Very minimal backplay. It is very tooly. This definitely will not move if you take this diving. And let's line it up. One more, and as you can see, it does line up perfectly to that 12 o'clock position. Now I want to get you a lume shot because this is a dive watch, and a lot of people really look for good lume on dive watches, and I think Spinnaker really did a good job on this one. So let's jump right into a lume shot. And here we go. As you can see, the lume is extremely potent. Very nicely applied. There are no blemishes or anything like that. Obviously, there's more space on those markers and hands than the bezel to apply the lume, so it's going to glow a bit brighter, appear to glow a bit brighter on the actual hands and markers. But as you can see, that lume is not going anywhere for a while. Very good lume from Spinnaker here. On my 6.75 inch wrist, as you can see, that 44 does not wear like a 44. It's 48 lug to lug. So it definitely fits very nice on my wrist. Very nice look with that bracelet. Very tool diving look, which I think they knocked it out of the park on the actual look of the bracelet and matched it nicely with this case. I believe this one previously came on a rubber band or a leather band. I'm not exactly sure if I remember. This model has been around for a while. It's constantly getting upgrades, which is nice to see. But yeah, definitely really nice fit. As you can see, it really looks like a true dive watch. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What do I think of the new Dumas with the upgraded bracelet? I think their case cut, their bracelets, and everything is getting really good. And their prices are not really going up that much, which is nice to see. It's definitely a very good quality watch. The finishing on the case and the bracelet is very good. They did not really cut any corners on this one. It's a very nice hexagon style link bracelet. You get the diver's extension, you get Spinnaker's own clasp, which is not cheap to make your own clasp and mold that. As you can see, it fits perfectly to the bracelet, which is nice to see. You're getting the NH35, a lot of you guys are accustomed to this movement. It's a good movement, there's a reason why. It's not going to break down, it always runs, and it's very accurate. So is the Miyota 9015. Also, they do have watches with 9015s, but they're a bit more expensive, I would say. But if you're looking for, an everyday tool dive watch to go diving or take in the pool or beach, definitely give this one a look. It's definitely a very nice looking watch, a little vintage aesthetic with the paddle hand, and a very legible dial, easy to read at a glance. You're getting 300 meters. I think you can't go wrong. There are no really quality control issues on this model, at least, that I have in hand. The finishing is on par, the crown functions are just fine, the bezel functions great. There are no finishing issues or anything like that, or issues with the dial. Everything is pretty much perfect. So yeah, I can definitely recommend this one. Definitely use my code WA20 if you want to save 20% on any Spinnaker model in the future. And let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below of the Spinnaker Dumas on their new style bracelet. I will see you guys in the next one, and definitely have a great day. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. A lot of interesting content coming up here on Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.